Hi. Well, thanks for coming out. We just had a nice meeting with the president, and we were talking about our concerns with what was going on in the South Sudan in the lead up to a war. I think we were very impressed with how involved at the highest level this administration is.
It has to begin with, a focused diplomacy of the highest alert. It has to be, from the president to Congress to the UN to the international community, all of them focused on a diplomatic answer to this in 88 days before this breaks into another armed conflict.
George, is that tougher the second time around to get people as excited about doing this as they were the first time?
Well, we're late to it, of course, but we're always late to it. We've never not been late. This time we actually happen to be a little bit ahead of it. We find out about Darfur and start talking about it. There's a lot of groups that did, but the major media outlets really caught on by like 2005, late 2005, early 2006, 3 years after Darfur. Congo, the same thing. Rwanda, the same thing. This is one where now you can go back to those same people because it's the same players. It's Omar al-Bashir. It's the government of Khartoum. It's the same players. So we know what his actions have been, the two other opportunities he's had. You know what he's done in the North-South? 2.5 million people killed. You know what he's done in Darfur? 300,000 or 400,000 people killed. So we can go back to the people, the Save Darfur people, all those people, and say, this is your chance now to stop one before it starts, not to come in and mop up the mess afterwards. This is a time, it doesn't cost a dime to do diplomacy, and diplomacy at the end of the day is what we're going to do. Whether there's a war and 1 million people are killed and it lasts 10 years, at the end of it there's going to be diplomacy. So let's just skip that part.
What do you think will happen in January if violence does break out? Do you think there's the international will to send troops into Sudan?
I don't think at this point there's any discussion about sending troops into South Sudan right now.
The president was and is incredibly involved, personally involved. He's, he's daily, getting memos and paying attention to. He knew everything about the specifics about what's going on. So I felt very comfortable with the idea that he's committed to doing something about it. Listen, you'll take all the blessings you can get. There's when we were in Abyei, actually, she's probably about 90 years old. I don't know how old she actually was, but we went into a hut she's the grandmother of a very good friend, Daniel, a friend of John's, and he said, I want you to meet my grandmother. And you had to get down on your knees to say hi to her. And she takes your hand and she spits in both of your hands. And then she pulls you down and spits on your head. And I kind of saw it coming as I got in, and I knew it was obviously, supposed to be something nice. He said, that's a blessing. And I was like, that's actually the first time, I've been spit on and it was a blessing. But listen, I'll tell you, we had a overloaded plane flying through the thunderstorms in the middle of nowhere, and we were very happy to have those blessings.
Well, when you're going through the overloaded planes and you're in all these